Hi, I'm Ryan Wright.
And I'm Jerry.
Welcome to Reasons to See,
where we give you reasons to see.
And not to see.
The place beyond the pines.
So let's hang out.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing...
A motorcycle stunt rider turns to robbing banks as a way to provide for his lover and their newborn child. A decision that puts him on a collision course with an ambitious rookie cop navigating a department ruled by a corrupt detective. And there's some pines. Reason to see number 1. Ryan Gosling. Anyone who knows me knows that Ryan Gosling is like my favorite actor. And you know what? He fucking did it again. He delivers again.
And this movie, for me, I went in and I was like, okay, let's see what the hype is around this dude. And you know what? He delivers as fuck in this movie.
Who's that guy?
He's yours.
You're not gonna tell me?
I heard from you in over a year. Just took off.
My son and I should be around him. I wasn't around my dad. Look the way I turned out.
How are you gonna take care of us?
What I love especially about someone like Ryan Gosling is you can feel so much emotion in just looking at his stare.
Yeah, no, he has so much just life about him.
Yeah, there's so much darkness, there's depth, there's light, there's everything. He's human. That's basically it. And I think he's far beyond electric in this film.
He's a whole power plant, man.
Yeah, no, I'm telling you, he can light a city. Yeah, and you know those bank robbery scenes with him too are very fucking cool. Like, he does a great job in it.
Alright, everybody wants to live, put your hands in the air! 105 in pursuit of suspect. 104, I got a visual on a motorcycle.
You know, thinking back on a lot of it, it's like you could really tell that he just put all of himself into living this character, and it's so good.
He's an actor who's willing to expose himself. This movie's essentially divided into 3 chapters, and he has the best chapter.
Reason to see number 2. Bradley Cooper.
I can't think of another line of work that I'd rather be in.
You're so smart, you can do anything you want. Just don't understand why you're doing this.
I'm a cop, Chad.
Bradley Cooper's story is essentially the 2nd chapter of this movie, and I think he's the perfect person to cast in comparison to Ryan Gosling. They're similar in age, somewhat similar in appearances. They're just the perfect blend to have together in this film. And Bradley Cooper, just does an excellent fucking job in this film. He has a lot of internal struggles he has to deal with in this movie. Feels like you're watching a real cop. Yeah.
Hey, that's the cool thing about a lot of the roles in this movie is that you almost forget about these guys and it just feels like you're watching these actual characters.
Yeah, it feels like you're watching people. It's really good. Reason to see number 3. Eva Mendes. That's not the reason to see her in this movie, though. She is more than just hot.
Hey.
Do you remember my name?
Romina. I like to call you Ro. Let me give you a ride.
She's exceptional in this movie. Fantastic work, hands down, man.
I felt for her the whole time because of all the characters, she's the one who's constantly being put through the ringer.
I don't think God likes her in this movie.
Yeah, no, because she's arguably, the least dark character, I guess you would say. Like, she's involved with the least amount of, difficult circumstances, but she keeps getting beat upon by just the events of this story, and you feel so bad for her.
Without her performance being as solid as it is, I don't think all 3 chapters would have linked as well.
No, yeah, definitely, and she brings something very pure to latch on to.
And last thing I gotta say about Eva Mendes is she has really good chemistry with Ryan Gosling. I can see why in real life she is now sucking his dick.
Reason to see number 4. Ray Liotta.
The man with the incredible Botox suddenly is not so distracting anymore with his Botox. He does a fantastic job in this role.
Hey, I'm Officer DeLuca. We're here to search your house.
What for?
We're looking for the money that Luke Glanton may or may not have given to you.
The lion's share is going to our hero.
If you guys don't know, he plays the crooked cop that is really causing problems for Bradley Cooper. It's a supporting role. It's it's one of those like minor characters who plays a major part. He has got the right level of menace. He's got the right level of charm. it's a very human performance as well. And it's great to see Ray Liotta back in a dark role like this.
And I really enjoyed seeing him in something weighty again.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
That's not like a weird family movie.
Reason to see number 5. Rose Byrne. Rose Byrne plays the wife to Bradley Cooper, the wife who's like, why are you doing this? I don't want you to be this way. But it's not a cliche performance, despite my interpretation that I just gave you of it. She does
You drastically undersold it.
Yeah,
you sold that in the worst way.
Yeah, she's actually very, very, very good. She also does a good job on playing that wife who wants to support her husband, but at the same time is very frightful of her husband's, career choice. And you feel for her too. It's a place where you're not like you're on Bradley Cooper's side or her side. You do get where she's coming from. And her and Bradley Cooper, they do work very well together.
Reason to see number 6. Ben Mendelsohn.
If you guys don't know who the actor Ben Mendelsohn is, he's this guy. Daggett. From The Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah.
In this movie, he does not look like Daggett. He's not rich. He's really like trailer trash kind of guy. But he is very fucking good in this movie. Normally a character like him might annoy me or I might get grossed out by just watching him. But he's actually, he elevates every scene that he's in. He has a lot of scenes with Ryan Gosling. And him and Ryan Gosling play off each other very well.
You got a kid? You want to provide for that kid? You got to do that using your skill set. And your skill set? Shazam.
He embodies that character, and he's got all these little ticks and quirks that just make him so fun to watch.
Yeah, with the cast of this movie, one thing you can really say is that the supporting cast truly does support the movie.
Oh, definitely.
Strongly. It's a great supporting cast and a great lead cast. Reason to see number 7. Dane DeHaan. I don't want to say too much about the part that he plays in this movie, but he does a fantastic job.
Like, you really identify with what he's going through.
Yeah, a lot of sympathy, and you can really feel his whole backstory and the history, and a lot of the psychology behind his character makes a lot of sense. I wish we could tell you about it, but we're just going to keep it at that.
Reason to see number 8. The directing.
I want to do 2 in one day.
Yo, get up!
I'm not going to let you bring us both down.
There's a way out of this. You're not gonna like it.
You know something, Luke? If you ride like lightning, you're gonna crash like thunder.
I've seen Blue Valentine, and now I've seen this movie. This guy has got to be one of the best directors that knows how to work with actors so well. You can really feel that he lets his actors improvise, really gets in there with the actors to really get them to help know their characters. He is he's an actor's director, and I love a director who can do that, but not just do that with the actors, but just put a whole film together that is so unique in its storytelling.
And it's not just the acting too. I mean, the film has a very interesting visual style, and it's almost visceral in a lot of ways. Mm-hmm. And there are a lot of choices with, camera and sound and all sorts of things like that really amplify all of what's going on. Reason to see number 9. The score.
There's some original music in this, there's some song choices in this, and you know what? They all elevate the material very well. They really help create that tone and that mood that the director's really going for in this film.
Some of that stuff is so haunting and beautiful and affecting, and it really, again, it just adds to the weight of the movie in a way that's not, intrusive.
Tom, it's for me. I'm still his father. I can give him stuff.
14 grand.
The lion's share is going to our hero.
This is your problem. This is our problem, and I'm bringing it to your attention because that's what I should do.
All right, let's move on to the split decisions. Split decisions. The writing. I love the script of this film. I think it's just an absolutely beautiful screenplay. It's certainly ambitious. That's like the key word to it. Like we keep saying, it's divided into 3 chapters, and the transitions between the chapters is not only expertly pulled off to me, but just the stories they decided to tell, I thought were excellent choices. And there's just so many themes within the story, like between fathers and sons, chance, consequences, so many fucking elements in this movie, and I loved every second of it. Just almost every second. I mean, at first when they transitioned into the second chapter, it was a little hard for me to adjust to at first, but eventually I just became engrossed all over again.
It's ambitious, but to me it doesn't fully achieve its ambitions. I think the first chapter is dynamite. I was effortlessly engrossed in the first chapter, and then when it transitioned into the second and the third, I found myself a little more struggling to be fully engrossed, and it sort of felt like it was trying to manipulate or maneuver characters into emotionally affecting situations instead of just finding them there. So that's what kept me from loving the rest of the movie.
If you want to know how I feel, take everything that Jerry had issues with. The exact opposite of that is how I felt. I thought everything about it was perfect.
All right, Ryan, right? You want to lead off with the consensus then?
Sure. Ryan's consensus. I hope this doesn't piss you off, but The Place Beyond the Pines is the reason movies are made. The Place Beyond the Pines is the reason movies are made. I love a film that's willing to challenge its audience. You know, despite the fact of, you know, certain remarks that I made towards Jerry's opinion, I can honestly see why some people might not enjoy it or will disagree with the film, but that's what I mean. I love a film that's willing to go out there, be something different, and be unique. And some, it's going to succeed very well, and others, it just might not hit it.
Jerry's consensus. The Place Beyond the Pines is almost the reason movies are made. The Place Beyond the Pines is almost the reason movies are made. Pretty much everything is top-notch in this movie. It just ultimately doesn't fully achieve its ambition for me, which is what kept me from loving it. But it's still great. Alright guys, thanks for checking out the video, and if you want to comment below and let us know your reasons to see and not to see, please go ahead.
And if you want to check out my straight-to-the-point review of The Place Beyond the Pines, want to know the difference between that review and this review? That review is going to be straight to the point. Click the link right here.
And if you want to see more episodes of Reasons to See, click the link right here.
And last but not least, if you want to get updated every time a new review is out, subscribe, people. Subscribe. Click that button. Hear us talk more about how great Ryan Gosling is.
Dude, we do have a podcast all about that.
I got a podcast. I got my own video talking about him.
Yeah, we
have a Gangster Squad review. We really like Ryan Gosling. My impersonation of me hanging out with Ryan Gosling.